Hello, class. Hope you are doing good today. So we are going to look at lesson 14.2, which is display data in dot plots. So your objective for today is basically students will construct and analyze a dot plot. So to step it out, statistical questions are answered by collecting and analyzing data. One way to understand a set of data is to make a visual display. A dot plot is a type of line plot that shows the frequency of each data value using dot plots. Alright, so our vocabulary for today. A dot plot is a visual display in which each piece of data is represented by a dot above a number line. The number of times a data value occurred is called frequencies. Alright, so number 1, a pulse rate is the number of times a heart beats in a minute. The pulse rate for a group of 12-year-olds is taken before a physical education class. The results are shown in the table. Which pulse rate is the most common among the group? So it says complete the number line with the appropriate scale. Pulse rates vary from, so we're going to look at the smallest data point, and that would be 55. And the largest data point, which would be 85, which is here. Okay, so I should use a scale from 55 to 85. All right, so 55, 56. Nope, sorry. So 55, that would be 56. This would be 57. So 9, as you can see, it's skipping by 2. So 63, 65, 67, 9, 71, 73, 75, 77, 81, 83, and 85. All right, for each piece of data, put a dot above the number. So 65, 58, 67. And sometimes I cross them out as I go through them, so I remember that I've done them. 85, 59, 66, 79. Sorry, you can't see that dot plot. 70, 75, 65, 63, 55, 75, 82, 56, 69, 75, 57, 60, and 75. All right, so hopefully you can see from that dot plot that 75 has 4 values. So for each piece of data, plot the dot. Which pulse rate is the most common among the 12-year-olds? Explain how you know. So we know it's 75 because it appears 4 times. All right, so it says, are dot plots useful for large points of data? Not always necessarily, because can you imagine if we had this double, how many dots we would have to put there? So I'm going to put no, and then put sometimes it is too much data. It's too much data to plot. All right, so moving on. Number 2, a company's employees are rated for their customer service on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very happy and 10 being very happy with the service. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 is unhappy. The customer service ratings for one day are shown in the dot plot. Use the dot plot to describe the data. So hopefully you can see that 7 occurs the most. So it says, what is the most common rating for the day? 7. How do we know? Can put most dots. B, what is the least common rating? Well, the least common is 1, and we can put only 1 dot. How many observations are shown in the dot plot? So basically you would add every dot, which I've already done, and there are 40. So D says, if a rating of 6 or higher is considered acceptable by the company, what % of the ratings are unacceptable? So there are 40 total and a ratings of 12 that are below 6. So 12 out of 40. And remember, guys, when we find percent, we're going to do 40 divided into 12.0. So bring that decimal point up. And 12 goes into 40.3 times. So that would be 30%. All right, E. If a rating of greater than 8 is considered excellent, what % of the ratings are considered excellent? So once again, there are still 40 total ratings. And of that, 9 are greater than 8. So 9 out of 40. So once again, 40 divided into 9.0. And so that goes, 225 hundredths. Remember, we moved that decimal point 2 places to make a percent. So it would be 22.5%. Okay? There are 5 additional customer ratings at the end of each day. Each a rating of 10. Will this change the answers in part A through E? So if we're adding 5 additional to 10, it would. So we're going to say yes. So A, it changes because that would now give 10 9 value. So it would be the most, because 7 only has 8. So now the most. Okay. And then B, there is no change. Okay, because that is the least. C would be how many observations are now shown. So that would be 45. I'm going to put D here. D says, what is the ratings of 6 or higher? So, yep, that would now change to, 6 or lower. So that wouldn't change, but what changes is my denominator. So now my denominator is 12 divided by 45, which is 27%. And then E changes because my denominator changes, as well as instead of 9 values, we're adding 5 to it. So that becomes 14 out of 45. And that percent is 31%. Okay? All right, so how is a dot plot different from a number line? So a number line is either going to just have one dot because that represents what x equals, or it will have an arrow because it would represent that greater than or less than or equal to or greater than. So that's what it would represent. All right, number 3 says the recommended amount of water that each person should drink per day is shown. Students are asked to track how much water they actually drink in a day. The number of glasses of water they drink on a specific day is shown in the list. Complete the dot plot. All right, so once again, we're going to put the dots. I'm going to mark them off as we go. So 5, 7, 9, 7, 6, 1, 4, 2, 3, 0, 8, 5, 2, 5, 6, 7, 4, 8, 5, 6, 4, 3, 8, 6, and 5. Remember, guys, you can pause the video as needed so that you can get your stuff plotted. All right, so what is the most common number of glasses of water the students drank? Well, it looks like 5. How many students drank at least the recommended amount of water per day. So the recommended amount of water per day was 8 glasses, and that's up here. So that would only be 4, because we're going to do the 3 plus the 1. How many observations are shown in the dot plot? Well, there are 25. And then what are the percentage of students that did not drink at least the recommended? So 21 out of 25. So once again, remember, this is what your division problem would look like. 25 divided into 21.0. And because I've already done this, I know it is 84. Okay? All right, so move on to that check for understanding. Pause the video, get it done, and then come back and check your answers. All right, thank you for coming back. All right, so the shoe size of the players on a soccer team are shown. Complete the dot plot. All right, so 10.5, 11.5, 10, 9, 10.5, another 10, 8, 9, so here's an 8 and a 9, a 7.5, an 8, a 10.5, an 11, a 10, a 10.5, a 9.5, 8.5, a 7, 8.5, 9, 9.5, 10, 10.5, and 11. Once again, that's what you should have. All right. A student is asked to make a dot plot with the list below. How many observations will be shown in the dot plot? So basically, all you got to do is count them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 observations. All right, so that is it for today. You will not have homework for lesson 14.2, so all you need to do is log in into Math and complete the on your own. That's it. Have a great day.